Hello, I'm Edgar Miranda.
Good luck, buddy.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
He did it! The son of a bitch did it!
Good people of YouTube, welcome. If this is your first time here, please know I've been expecting you. Click subscribe, hit the bell, and take a seat. Let me entertain you. Sitting in the dark with those piano notes and the credits rolling in front of me, I think I'm never going to forget that night. I was at a point in my DCU journey where I was very excited for this movie, but I never expected to enjoy it this much. But that night, I was reminded of what it feels to go on an adventure with these characters from my youth. Because for as much as I love comics as a whole, at my core, I'm a DC guy. And it was about time the Justice League showed up. And this being a Superman channel, I assure you that I will be breaking down and overanalyzing every aspect of this movie for a long time. But today I just want to briefly share with you what I felt while watching this movie and why I enjoyed it thoroughly. The main thing I really expected was for this to be a job for the Justice League, and only the Justice League. That the reason why these characters had to join forces felt as necessary as the threat felt overwhelming. I wanted this to be an adventure of epic proportions, and the biggest compliment I can give this movie is that I felt that I was reading a crossover event. Granted, 4 hours is a ridiculous runtime for a movie, but I found myself just wanting more and more. It really allowed for the story to be comprehensive, yet not bloated, with many character arcs, action scenes, and my favorite, those small moments between our heroes, that looking back is what gives this movie its heart. Just by looking at the screen, you can tell the amount of care that went into putting this movie together, to the point I even compliment its use of slow motion, something I'm not the biggest fan of. And the soundtrack was sublime. Mostly. But the story is only as good as its antagonists. The introduction of the New Gods seems straight from a comic book. Their world feels lived in, with millennia of backstory. Steppenwolf was exiled from Apocalypse after betraying Darkseid, and he currently owes him more than 50,000 worlds before even being granted an audience. You can almost sympathize with him, or at least understand his plight. And his original design is both menacing and impressive. The Sad seems slimy and conniving, as he should, and the man himself, Darkseid, especially with the inclusion of Cyborg's vision, feels like an unstoppable force of nature, relentless, unforgiving, and hell-bent on vengeance against those who kept him away from his great prize. Thank you. Overall, a trio of superb voice acting. And as for the good guys, what more can I ask? Wonder Woman's faith in humankind was restored. Again. And even though I came in expecting only the warrior princess, and we got a lot of that, I really love seeing her softer side.
You can be anything you want to be.
Now what's truly surprising about Aquaman, Cyborg, and the Flash is that they were properly introduced in this movie, so their arc starts here. Aquaman went from a loner, an outcast of two worlds, who may or may not talk to fish, to a caring member of the group.
We're asking a kid who just lost his father to go up against the most powerful machines in the universe. It's not fair.
I thought you didn't care.
I never said that.
And sometimes, even the voice of reason,
This is a bad idea.
one step closer to reclaiming his birthright. The Flash, an individual with so much potential, held back by his family's tragedies.
You know what criminal justice would be for me? My son not wasting his life. You can be whatever you want to be. You're brilliant, man. Absolute best of the best.
But willing to step up at the most crucial of times. And I don't know if you know, but stories between fathers and sons have a special place in my heart.
Dad, whatever happens, I want you to know your kid was one of them, Dad. One of the best of the best.
And Cyborg's arc is especially endearing. After losing almost everything,
Then maybe you already know I need your help. The world does.
Fuck the world.
finding a higher purpose,
No, you don't know what you'd be up against.
Just get me in and get me time.
You could die, Victor.
If I don't, we all die. You wanted me to use these gifts, right? That's what I'm gonna do.
and coming to terms with his humanity
I'm not broken,
and his reality.
and I'm not alone.
And for the two lesser known, they really deserve a section to themselves. I just wish somehow I could. Oh, I can.
What's the S stand for?
New rules. We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed.
20 years in Gotham, Alfred. We've seen what promises are worth. How many good guys are left? How many stayed that way?
I bet your parents taught you that you mean something. My parents taught me a different lesson. They taught me the world only makes sense if you force it to.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
I failed him in life. I won't fail him in death.
Ever hear of Superman? He died fighting next to me. He believed we were stronger together. We owe it to him.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
No, it has to.
Your guilt's overcome your reason.
Alfred, for once, I'm operating strictly on faith, not on reason.
That's what this symbol means. The symbol of the House of L means hope. Embodied within that hope is the fundamental belief in the potential of every person to be a force for good. That's what you can bring.
He'll be here, Alfred, I know it.
What makes you so sure?
Hope, Alfred. Hope. Thank you for watching. Oh, and I almost forgot. In this movie, we see the world without Superman. How the ones who love him most try to keep on living. How he inspired. And how him being gone is what sets everything in motion. And his return is so impactful that brings with it a drastically different future. And it's the turning point in the war against Steppenwolf. I love that. How Superman is the cornerstone. But always, it's those personal moments and its possibilities what makes for a great Superman story. His return, how Lois brings him back to Smallville, the role the memory of Jonathan plays in him remembering who he is, his connection with his mom, it's all realized beautifully. But the cherry on top of the cake is how he puts everything at risk because the world needs him. A true hero. From watching Man of Steel and thinking, not my Superman, to be rooting for the character now has been a decade-long journey. All I ever wanted since that first movie was announced was to feel inspired, and looking back, it might have delivered. Maybe, if I had accepted that even though this may not be my Superman, the one I grew up with, he was and still certainly is a Superman in its own right. And now, I embrace him I wanted this movie to be epic. I wanted the stakes to feel overwhelming, and the antagonist layered. I wanted to care about these characters and for them to grow. And overall, I wanted to see my lifelong hero and smile the whole way through. If I wanted all of this and the movie delivered, does it mean the movie is perfect? Maybe, but I loved it nonetheless. Also, please restore the Snyderverse. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, maybe check another one.
I shouldn't.
Come on.
Do it.
See you next time.
Come through! That's what Superman's saying! Come through, though! But you ain't, though!